Is this a bit of a
5
a
seconds
yoink
remaining.
from Beast Coast, where that could be potentially a
feel like
5-position Viper?
Yeah.
They just got that done to them earlier today, and obviously these guys play against the members of Beast Coast continuously in pubs.
Doesn't feel like a very fly hero.
Yeah, it kind of does to me.
I feel like fly plays these savers typically, like the Oracles, the Abaddons, the healers.
I'll be straight with you. I think Fly's conceptual knowledge of Dota is upper echelon, if not the best.
Sure.
But I don't think he's known for being an incredibly skilled mechanically player, like these like crazy execution, high threshold, like 5 positions.
I'm with you.
I think Viper's in there.
Okay.
Like Viper's a hero that's
Geniuses turn
all
to
about
bad.
knowing exactly where to be on the map, and to a viewer at home may seem like a super easy hero, but it's not. You know, you play these enchantresses, these phoenixes, they don't have stuns, but that usually makes them more difficult to play conceptually because they don't have a clear place to be on the map with their toolkit. They kind of just have to
10
play around the
seconds
abilities
remaining.
of their teammates. And this guy's like 10k MLR playing 5 position.
5
Yeah, that's impressive.
seconds
So he's pretty
remaining.
damn good.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be... there's so many ways they can go about this with the Viper, but it's almost certainly mid or 5 because you're not going to land it against the Lifestealer. That makes no sense. And in that case, the Tiny could be 2 or 4.
Vici Gaming's
I'm
turn
banking
to
on it
ban.
being a 4 Tiny, 5 Viper, but we'll see.
They have played Tiny, not yet, this major. They played Viper once, though, was for Abed. Victory as well against Beast Coast earlier today. But yeah, I like that they're flex picks. I feel like
10
that's if you're
seconds
gonna
remaining.
open Tiny Viper, you better have them be flex picks. Otherwise, it's a strange
5
opening.
seconds
Yeah, it is a
remaining.
very strange opening.
How about
I
the
like it.
Lifestealer as a pairing to
Geniuses
Nyx
turn to
Assassin,
ban.
though? That seems like a equally peculiar opening. Poyo first phasing his hero.
It just shuts down both these heroes as 4s as well as 3s. So it kind of... You see this ridiculous flex that EG's representing. As long as you can adequately protect this Lifestealer,
10 seconds
then
remaining.
you're not allowing them to fully abuse the nature
5
of both of their
seconds
flex
remaining.
picks. I think that's what they're going for.
Okay, so some of the protection, Ursa, Terrorblade, you have to ban out Phantom
Razor, I
Lancer,
think.
Razor. I feel like there's a lot of things
I
that
think
a Lifestealer...
Razor's the #1 that I see own this hero. So unless they pick 2 heroes that are very good against Razor, then it just ruins Lifestealer's game. The hero can't operate at all.
And EG doing a little bit of targeting for Old 11, taking out the Legion Commander. Mars is already first phase banned by Vici. Still has Doom availability, but so far no real reason to pick it other than the fact that it's popular. So I would be down for Doom Grimstroke if Vici want to do that in second phase.
Yep. They've had some success with the Doom for sure, and we even saw EG banning out first phase in the first game, so they definitely do have it on their radar.
Although actually, having said that, I did see... So Grimstroke was super popular first phase earlier in Wildcards. A lot of Tinies were just tossing people to break the Soulbind, and I was like, oh my god, I had no idea how much of an issue this was. But these Tinies would get caught in the Soulbind, they toss their ally away. They go to their teammates, they toss one of them away. And I was like,
Vici
well,
Gaming's
this-
You know how
turn
that
to
works?
ban.
Because I actually did a segment on that during
did you really, Brian?
because there was one game where it got broke like 2 or 3 times.
Okay, tell me about it.
And
You
it's
just have to do the secondary target, not the primary?
Yeah, you have to do the... It depends on what you're tossing to. But if the leash gets broken, if the primary target
10
of the
seconds
leash
remaining.
is still within the range of somebody, it will releash to somebody.
Correct, yeah.
But if the secondary
5
target's
seconds
the only
remaining.
one still in range, so if you're tossing to a creep, you would want to toss the primary target. But if you're tossing to another hero, you could still toss the primary if you want, but they'll just be linked in the outside of the fight.
Right, or the new link will form onto Tiny and the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a really weird
Evil
spell,
geniuses
but
turn
it's
to
also
ban.
possible for your teammates to grief you a bit because
With Tiny? Really?
No,
That
I'm
hero?
saying
Who knew?
no, I'm saying just in general, like if a Coddle blasts them or a Mars Spear or something like that, some displacement spell on your own.
Oh,
team,
right, the forced movement.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will break the link. So
10
we're
seconds
talking about a hero that
remaining.
isn't even in the game yet, but it's still fun.
Well, who do you want to talk about?
Well, I know. I was about to say
5
the second round of
seconds
bans
remaining.
this is the perfect time to just talk about random
Didn't
crap.
ban out the Razor, though.
Did not. They banned out Terrorblade and Morphling, definitely strong heroes as well, Ursa there. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe they plan on
Just keep it on
picking
your...
it up themselves.
I'll keep it on my radar, but man, that is a boring-ass draft. DG got Viper Razor on it.
Yeah.
You were talking boring in game 1. This is going to be taken up to number 11.
Do not put it past Bulb to go.
Maybe we shouldn't call it boring because I don't think that the game that we just witnessed was boring. It was just lack of action, and there's a lot of these micro decision makes and made. Wow, English hard. That are super exciting for the die-hard Dota fan.
Okay, yes.
Right?
I would just appreciate EG messing up a little bit this game.
Yeah.
Because
but he TP'd off immediately.
Yeah, I need a
one
Magnus.
TP off, one cookie off. You know, they
10
found the way they can
seconds
toss people off this point.
Yeah.
Winter Wyvern could fly off, even though, of course, that wouldn't be
5
Arteezy
seconds
How
generally.
hype would that be, though? And also, now that it is a Wyvern, that's probably Fly Zero, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, that is true.
He has played it before as well. We have seen a couple of 4 Wyverns, but not a whole lot.
How crazy would an Ice Wyvern be?
What were the
Tiny
Dude, after the curse nerf, I don't think you can really do it.
Okay.
The 2.5 seconds is brutal. And wow, this is very
All the
aesthetically
flyers.
pleasing, yeah.
Yes. Gotta wait for
So
that
many
moment.
wings of flapping there.
When are they flapping at the same time? There's gonna be a moment that
Oh
they
my
all
god,
flap
this is
at
like
the
when
same-
you're
Yeah, when you're
turn
watching
signal.
the thing trying to hit the corner.
Oh no, the DVD screen cover is a good screensaver is a good one. I'm thinking about when you're in your car and you have the turn signal on, and you're waiting for your turn signal to line up with the dude in front of you. That's what I'm feeling.
Faceless Void.
Faces Void coming out for AG themselves.
That's a nice counter to the Life Stealer.
Mm-hmm.
They're also pretty light on stun so far. You do have the Nyx, but not exactly reliable against a hero like Void with the low cooldown mobility. They got some options. I would be kind of happy to see a hero that Necrophos. I want to say it. Damn it.
Doom still coming out.
I did want to see a single target ultimate that just kind of screwed over the Void, but I thought a ranged hero might go better with the Nyx in lane. Doom, it should be fine, but I do think Void, they're not prioritizing the lane here. They're prioritizing shutting him down after lane. He should have a pretty good start.
But Brian, that was their downfall in game 1. You need to prioritize the lanes, Vici.
I know. If you haven't played other heroes in this kind of scenario, then don't branch out of your comfort zone randomly in group stage in a game that could be pivotal on whether or not you actually make it to the top 2.
Yeah.
But
Vici
you're a double melee. Wyvern is a 5 that's absolutely punishable in the first or in the early laning stage. But I guess they're just gonna let it go. They're just gonna let Faces Void escape that potentially disastrous safe lane. I mean, Wyvern Void is not a strong lane, but neither is Nyx Doom.
Tsunami, earlier you said you didn't really like the Phoenix as a 4, but generally it is DY playing Nyx Assassin and it is PYW on the Phoenix, right? Are you happy with that support combo?
Wait, which order did you say it was?
DY, Nyx Assassin, PYW, Phoenix? Do they switch that around a lot? Not this, because not this major yet. So I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean both of them I've seen Phoenix on, and in this situation, let's say, so it could be Phoenix Doom versus Void Wyvern. Then your lane is Lifestealer Nyx Assassin versus don't know yet. I think it's open to interpretation. We will have to see on who EG pick for Ice. I think.
5 seconds remaining.
Most likely.
Yeah.
It actually, Vici Gaming is banning out Templar Assassin. So they are definitely playing with the idea that
Wyvern mid Viper. Or 5 Viper, I mean.
Yes. And then still an Abbot here to go. It's definitely very open and flexible still. Vici Gaming, we're missing the Ori hero.
They responded to this Lifestealer 3rd pick with the Wyvern. It is a support that's pretty good against you, but how crazy would it be to just pick the off lane right away into that safe lane pick?
Vici Gaming.
Yeah.
There's that Wyvern. They haven't exactly countered the Wyvern. There's no gap close.
But I mean, just at a base level, do you think it's still viable after the curse nerf?
I'm going to tell you yes.
Okay, good. That's the conviction.
Storm Spirit.
Okay, well now there's a way to kill Wyvern, but I like that pick.
Yeah, easy to deal with Void.
I don't
more
love it,
so than
though.
other mid laners.
I'm kind of fine with EG just putting Viper mid now. And going for an offlaner. Let's see.
10 seconds remaining.
Slardar?
What do you want?
5
You want
seconds
stun
remaining.
for this Storm Spirit?
Legion's already banned.
You may now select
So it
your
is 3
heroes.
Wyvern like I predicted.
I'm very excited.
No, it's 3
Nice
5.
try.
I'm very excited nonetheless.
Because it's Abed Invoker.
It's been a while, and it's gonna be the Invoker versus Storm lane, which I think is a pretty fun lane to watch because it could go either way, correct?
Yes, I think heavy harass, and Lifestealer has Rage to remove that, and Doom should have a pretty decent time, and Storm should have a pretty decent time. So EG's now banking on this late game wombo combo team fight. Maybe they're trying to go outside their comfort zone. Doesn't really seem like their recipe for success. I'll go against them again, but with confidence that they're not going to win the lanes.
I think that Poyo's Lifestealer is going to hate life. I think that he's going to get kited constantly. He's going to be having to worry about getting cursed. He's going to worry about Chrono. And he's going to have to worry about a farmed Viper striking him constantly. So even though the lanes aren't as great, I think EG are willing to relinquish some of that strength. I'm going to think that they'll still win it anyway.
We do have the DY Phoenix and the PYW Nix Assassin. It did switch that up, as you said, but it still doesn't sway you in their direction.
It does not. Not enough. Lifestealer's going to struggle.
All right, well, let's see what happens in this game too. Vici Gaming versus Evil Geniuses together with ODPixel and Fog.
My gratitude.
You're wonderful.
Yes, thank you, She. It does feel like EG has gone for more of a later game type of approach this time around. Vici going for more of the stable Storm Spirit Lifestealer, this Infest Bomb combo that could maybe save the Lifestealer from horrific scenarios that Neil is describing. Owen, how you doing? What do you think?
Yeah, not too bad. Looking forward to this. I think I see this and I just feel that Vici's, they've got to do way better than the lanes. If they get behind at the start, the game goes on. At the end of it all, EG, they've got that setup, right? They've got this Chrono, they've got this Curse, you know, these big AoE setups for that Cataclysm to come in from Abed's Invoker in the later stages. So, yeah, I think Vici, they can't get away with sort of losing all 3 lanes like they did last time, or at least, you know, not being able to get anything done off the back of them, because overall, I look at this Void, I think the only thing RTZ really has to be worried about is the Doom ultimate. Everything else he can play around, and all in all, it's a pretty strong Void game.
Does have to worry, of course, for the Orchid timing that's going to be coming out from the Storm Spirit too. But yeah, if they can get to those later stages, does feel strong. I think Vici also does have a pretty strong late game draft, though. We've seen Old 11 Doom, this Refresher, this Midas, this Greed that he's gone for. They also have Phoenix, one of those very strong support heroes that does scale very hard. Speaking of Old 11, does scout out that there is a ward in the mid lane, so maybe going to go for a quick D-road there. And the other thing to point out is too, it is an Invoker picked into a first pick Nyx Assassin, which can really ruin an Invoker's game quite a lot of times. So we'll see how it all does kick off. We do have a lot of Master Tier heroes here. Ori, Master Tier Storm, Master Tier Tiny on crit. Let's see how those lanes do go out.
Let's have a look. Yeah, last game we had that sort of 2k advantage, I think, at least already, like the 8-minute mark from EG. See if they're able to achieve something similar here.
I'm going to be watching the top lane because just the way that they doubled up the wave last time, I think that's going to be a similar approach. Using the Nether Toxin, just forcing this wave in. They've got this double wave coming in. But I think Poyoyo will be able to handle it a little bit better as a Lifestealer compared to Morph. Not as greedy of a hero.
Yeah, I think, you know, Lifestealer, of course, is going to suffer some difficulties down the line against the Vibe Strike and the Nether Toxin, but at least in the lane and with the backup of DY, yeah, we're going to see Poyoyo have a better time in lane here in game 2 than he did in game 1.
Oh, mid lane. Ori steps up a bit far, eats a lot of damage from Abed. He's going to have to eat that EMP too. That's going to make him quite sad. A lot of mana committed from Abed though. He's down 300 mana just off of the first wave. Usually you want to save a bit more for those constant spam of the tornadoes to secure CS, which can be a bit difficult as the Quas Wex versus the Storm Spirit who's forcing the wave into you constantly. Toss back.
Now, what do you expect sort of build-wise from ISO from the off-lane Piper role this game?
It's been, from what I've seen, it's been the same exact build every game. It's been the Urn into either a Atos or bots into Atos, something along those lines. Could see arguments maybe for something like a Veil, but I don't think so. Or he just goes auras, because that is a nice approach. EG does like having somebody with like a pipe and a mech too in the game, so perhaps does look for something like that to save. Since they do have one form of save anyway with the Wyvern, maybe wanting a secondary one to counteract the Doom. GG does feel nice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So far, mid lane, 7-4 against a 6-for-2. Very close here. And
Storm favorite match.
Top.
So, Abed,
Yeah.
he'll have a little bit of a struggle at the start.
We'll see what moves Abed's able to make. Of course, Abed's Invoker, incredibly active sort of play style he'll go for after he has that first item. You can expect to see him sweeping up and down the map, looking to get involved as much as possible. Bottom.
Courier snipe.
It's easy. He's looking for some bashes here. Won't quite be able to get any more. 11 does at least have that chainmail.
I'd be surprised to see much of a kill here on most of the lanes, to be honest. Much more of a passive style coming out. DY did use the dive, crit looking for an opportunity to perhaps to punish. Top is probably the one where we could see that kill, the Phoenix, but other lanes don't really think so. It's a Void and Wyvern versus this Doom, who is super tanky. They'd have to set pretty far out of position, or just consecutive bashes to catch him off guard. EG, same approach, though. Triple range creep. Hitting the tower, looking to slow down Vici. Both couriers killed, too. Is there any regen even left up here? There is some on DY. Poyoyo can
heavily cutting creeps here.
Yeah. But he's a life stealer, so it's not a Morphling who just gets really pressured by this. He's got his built-in sustain from his passives. They are starting to get quite a bit of that harassment kicking in, though.
A combo after the rage might be enough to do it here. Poyoyo, he's out of regen. I think they've got him here, EG. As they do, indeed. First blood. He may be farming a lot better than he did last game, but still suffering it against the aggression here from Crit and Ice.
These two really know how to bully these poor carries.
Some time down bottom, Art's easy. Farm looking just fine as well, 20 and 5. He's not really being slowed down whatsoever by the lane presence of PYW and Old 11.
He gets a point in time dilation early on. He's doing well in the lane anyway. Maybe wants to push off in case there is any aggression. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if they ever get aggressive on him, I think there's potential to turn. You know, with the chase, with the slow from that and the Arctic burn, especially like PYW. If he tries to come in with the stun and then he hasn't got that left, they can try and run down the next assassin.
Yeah, no, that is definitely true. PYW using both spells.
Yeah,
cool.
They're gonna go for it now. Needs a bash though, and he's not getting it.
Nope.
A bash would have done it there, but RTZ not quite able to find the RNG, so PYW can walk it off.
He's farming nicely though. So is the Doom. Doom gonna get that much better farm because of the built-in Devour, but not able to slow down RTZ is very important. Once again, top, Poyoyo. Crit's looking for the tossback. He'll get it. Poyoyo.
Yeah, he has. And with Rage already being used, this is going to be heavy damage onto Poyoyo. As can they quite? They need it. Is that going to be enough hit with the urn? And they did. They needed another touch upon him, but Poyoyo able to keep enough distance. Does mean he's going to have to stick around very low. No salve in the lane between the two of them.
That crit. Running all the way back to base to reset. They've done their damage. Poyoyo has been slowed down significantly. Still getting 23 last hits, but they've gotten the one kill and bottom. They do get that secondary one as soon as the Nyx Assassin leaves the lane. This time dilation is super valuable.
It is. Yeah, just this 1 point early on is setting them up for these moves, and Vici Gaming losing heroes in ways they wouldn't have intended to down here. PYW making his way over towards the mid. Just see if he can get the setup onto Arbed. He's really coming back up. Arbed instantly turns there with the combo. Backups coming in from Crit. The stun down onto Arbed and Crit. Have they got enough damage? Crit tossing Arbed back to safety underneath the tower. Will get them away. Again, you know, 6 minutes in. No surprise here. Vici Gaming, the duo support movement on mid. But EG, as they were in last game, they're prepared.
I was going to say, that's, you know, Crit was going back to base with like half mana, but now that absolutely makes sense. It's every single time they do this rotation, he's ready for it. He TPs instantly before they're even all there. Really heads up stuff from EG, doing their homework.
This moment last game, but it's not far off. You know, 2-0, 1k lead from EG in the first 6 minutes of laning.
Ice getting given the lane. He's level 6 now, so that Lifestealer doesn't really want to approach back over there. DY gonna just pull. He's gonna get good levels up here, but the Lifestealer's gonna just have to sit inside the jungle for the moment. Crit, just sticking around mid, using this catapult wave, trying to get some good tower damage. PYW does use his stun, doesn't take too much damage from the EMP. Will clean up a bit of that wave. But they're keeping this catapult alive, tanking it a few hits onto Abed. Creep wave comes in too. Every little bit matters.
Oldlem's got to be careful down there, very close to the 6. If VG's ever able to get him low with a bit of harassment, you know, Arteezy will have no hesitation dropping down the chrono. In fact, he's going to start making a straight top. Get a use with the 6 up here. Crit. If they've got enough control here, they do. Or he's in with the grab back. Crit will get taken out. Immediately, Arteezy and Ice looking at what's playing with the Viper strike and a chrono. And have the lockdown and damage to take down the Lifestealer, as we saw. Arteezy pretty much TP top as soon as he hit that 6.
Loving the moves from both sides. The instant storm rotation when he sees the Tiny walking through his jungle. And the instant rotation from Arteezy in reaction, like you said, as soon as he does get that level 6. Crit, making the move mid again, even though he does die, looking to secure Abed, who is ahead of the Storm Spirit.
And see, I'm going for that Witch Blade first. Abed just making sure they have that heavy damage to hit with when he makes these moves as early as he wants to.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Very different approaches from certain players. Like we've seen Miracle every single time he plays Quaswex, he's always gonna go Urn. He's always gonna go for Spirit Vessel, but he has a Viper on his team who went that Urn, so he's going for a different build. Ice he is gonna be going for that Atos build as expected versus the Storm Spirit versus Doom. Which make a lot of sense. They're gonna get this tower. So very early on, last game it was 7 minutes, this time it's 9 minutes. It does require a rotation from Arteezy, but still very, very early. He's gonna pay the price.
You call him brace off, but they've got the magical damage. No safety here for Fly.
Keeps the regen going on Ori too. So he'll be able to join for the next fight. Has his TP available if he sees an opportunity.
Denied.
And Arteezy's just going to stay playing on Vici Gaming's half of the map now. Knows that Vici's going to be making these aggressive moves around Ori. Doesn't want to be anywhere near as he looks to get that first time with the Maelstrom done on his build-up.
I like that Ice doesn't deviate from the build. I've been seeing a couple of these Vipers. They only put like 2-3 points in poison attack. They start maxing Nether Toxin. I like the max poison attack. You start just getting tanky. You're an offlaner. You want to be tanky, so you get 4 points poison attack, go for your max corrosive. Maybe 2-3 points, and then you start going back for Nether Toxin, but I like just having max poison attack. That's 90% of the hero.
And he's going to move himself down to the bottom. Make sure that he can keep that wave pushed out and really limit the opportunities for Vici Gaming to try and take early towers themselves. And of course, their lineup, not really the best at taking objectives. I guess both teams not really with the best heroes for sieging towers, but
no,
it's definitely slow here for Vici Gaming when it comes to getting those buildings. Their lineup much more built around getting these pickups, getting these kills. But mid lane, setup's going to be there onto Ori. And some of the Avalanche, have they got enough damage with that toss? Oh, not quite enough. Okay. Is it about time? He'll get away. He might be missing the stun. As Crit will be able to walk out. G Gaming not able to get a catch on EG in return here. As EG still with the 4 at the mid. They'll have to put the pressure on. Arteezy has got Chronosphere up and ready to go if they see an opportunity.
And they have a catapult. Ice every single time making the moves with those catapults to look for tower pressure. EG always utilizing them at their maximum. Crit gets a toss back.
Crit. He's able to get the toss back. PYW runs out with the Impale, catches the 2 of them. Diamond from DY has got Supernova available, but the curse is going to come out, catches the 2 of them. PYW, he's dead for sure. We'll see Ice getting caught underneath the tower because of it. So he's able to come in with the grab, takes him out. Supernova being popped there as he was a little worried about getting caught from the combo of Arbed.
Bottom tower is under attack.
The push back EG, still heavy damage done though to this mid tower.
Actually, they get bottom tower though. Their card is able to just take it while that whole fight is kicking off. So Vici do get a big kill in response, even though they lose their Nyx assassin. Not too big of a deal.
Dire's top
Egg
tower
is on cooldown though. DY wanting to save his life. Looks like a bit of a funny egg. I'm sure people are typing lol, but does want to protect himself. They are going to refill the bottle of Ori bottom, and he's not going for Orchid. Bit interesting since he is playing versus Void. Does seem like it has its very high effectiveness, but he's just going for his own build. He's just going for this Kaya. Seen this
I mean,
a lot, the
I can't imagine it'll be a Bloodstone Rush. It's got to be the Kaya Sands, right? Yeah. I guess you're just sort of thinking he wants to tank up, so if he does get caught by these stun combos, he's going to live long enough to zip out.
I guess so. Usually you see this when you're versus like a lot of different forms of disable that you can actually prevent with the status resist, but he's versus Chronosphere, so kind of an interesting approach.
Absolutely. I mean, you think it's going to be sort of a build-up that Arteezy, if he catches a click on Tori, he's going to be quite happy that this Orchid Rush isn't coming this game.
Hell yeah. Arteezy's already got the Maelstrom finished very early on in the game.
And an easy kill there.
His Midas, it's up.
He's not got anything to Midas.
Oh no. The pain, the agony.
That hurts. That hurts a lot. That hurts a lot. Poor old 11.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Old 11, indeed.
Old 11.
Radiant's bottom tower
That's
is
rough.
under
Mid.
attack.
That's rough.
Gonna get pushed back from a couple hits from the Witchblade. Much more farm-heavy game. 5-3, 13 minutes. PYW starting to do some scouting. They have this deep aggressive ward that they placed last time too. Crit is sitting in the area to protect Abed, and double sentries down. I want to see what Ori queues up next.
Well, I mean, it could be Kaya. Well, would you go Kaya into the Orchid? Surely not, because then that's if you're still going to get the Orchid, you've just slowed it down unnecessarily, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really curious to see what he does look to go for. Yeah, if it is going to be like a Bloodstone. I would imagine so. Just,
We'll see. I mean, so far so good for him. Now 2-0-1. He's been having a solid start here, Ori. A lot of space and time being given though to Arteezy as he's up there, keeping on par with the farm of old 11's Midas Doom.
DOI looking to play more around the Sunray this game, going for the Holy Locket. Like this build up more as a... When you're playing the 5 Phoenix, it makes a lot more sense. When you're playing the 4 Phoenix, you want to go for your more like carry kind of potential. So I do like that, especially versus a hero like Void. Anyone who gets caught inside that Chronosphere, you can potentially try to save them. And Vici going for a much more farming style, as we mentioned. Midas on the Doom, the Devour. I just feel like it will pay off for them. And it is just going to be the
can get the... Yeah. I guess just really valuing the extra survivability.
Yeah.
If he does get caught by some of the stuns that are offer here from EG.
Does make him tanky, at least 2 versus that Chrono. Atos is finished from Ice. More catch. Vici's hunting.
Gotta be careful, yeah. With that Chrono coming up round the corner.
Tower is under attack.
Counterplays are available for EG.
Is under attack.
Making that move as well. Before old 11 quite had the blink dagger. I mean, this is going to be the key thing that will really set up the team fights for success. If old 11 can get in, ideally catch Abed or Arteezy with the Doom.
Stupendous!
Well, let's see. The smoke, not going to achieve anything at all here, Vici Gaming. And we'll see if they want to try and pull something together around this tier 2 mid if VG push in.
VG's walking up. Ice. He's spotted.
See what 11 goes for. 11, he's actually going to blink back. He doesn't want to blink in aggressively. Ice being protected here by the Cold Embrace. Have to dive in from DY. We'll be back out to the side. The Atos will hold him in place. Neither team really getting a full grab on one another. There's old 11. Hiding in the wings again, ready to go for a jump. They've got to be so aware, though, of Arteezy in this Chronosphere. Could put a complete stop to the team fight that Vici Gaming attempt to bring.
I love how bold Ice is. He knows he has the backup of the Cold Embrace, but just face-checking the high ground, knowing he's got all that backup. Love to see it. Both teams look like they're both going for their own item timings. No one's really looking to force too much of that pressure. Abed looking to go for perhaps a BKB before going for that Aghanims that we know will inevitably come out with that Void.
Yeah, it's all he really needs to do this game. Cataclysm is just going to be that game winning down the line with the Chronosphere setup.
Top, old 11, setting up for crit.
Radiant's bottom tower
There's backup though.
Who's got the damage? Crit. The turn with the avalanche on level return. He's going to drop the Doom down onto Ice. They'll take out RTZ. He's looking for the end of the pool. Comes in the vortex is there. Doesn't matter. RTZ still able to get the hits in to take down the Supernova, but EG have lost 3. Vici Gaming picking up this time. Can they get RTZ or Arbed as well? They've got the dust on Arbed. Stun comes down off the mark. They're able to work it. RTZ's even thinking about turning. Trying to get back into the hole. Lemon jumps across with the Hoostop. Catches the 2 of them. They'll get the setup. They take down Arbed. RTZ, he can't finish off Old 11. They've lost 4 EG. As RTZ, he's just got to run. He's got no business here anymore. As Vici Gaming taking a smart fight round the tier 2, getting in on the supports first, and EG just not quite able to pull together that team fight or find the opportunity for an early chrono to turn things around there.
What a play from Old 11, really. The war stomp there, just saving his teammates, covering them from the back, from the initiation, from the Invoker. Clean plays from Vici, nice responsive plays too. EG starting to get out farmed. This Midas, it's paying off for the Doom. The Storm Spirit's just having this free farm too. Lifestealer, Poyoyo, he's not getting pressured either.
It's going to try for the setup on PYW. Are we going to see anything from Ori? Ori's watching from the side. He's going to try and come in and turn it around. Comes with a vortex trap onto Arteezy, but the curse comes out. Fly keeps him safe. Arteezy, he'll bail out a bit. Dime walks back to safety, over to the side, they'll focus towards Fly, but Fly keeps himself protected for now with the cold embrace. See if Poyoyo is able to do the damage with the hack of the Sunray, he will. Fly gets taken out, Poyoyo trying to turn towards his next target, moving in onto Crit, jumping into the Crit, trying to get out there, but the Bashes and the cold snap comes out, he'll jump out, RTZ jumping back to safety, the Sunstrike comes crashing down onto Poyoyo, stuck in the poison and the Viper Strike coming out from Ice, he's got the damage, he's taken out too, he's ready to try and go for more. The tornado from Arme comes out, catches both Old 11 and Ori. Only PYW getting out of there. As quickly EG lose a team fight top, they come back in with the action in the mid lane, and EG, they come back out on top again.
And Ice wildly draws lines on the map to deal with the lanes after that. They chased for Fly, they chased for Crit, they chased for the supports, they get punished for it heavily. Ice looking to go for PYW. Max Carapace though will cover him. Great fight from EG.
And that's always going to be a little bit concerning here for Vici Gaming, losing a team fight like that when Chronosphere wasn't even involved.
Supports bailing them out of some difficult situations. Beautiful tornado too to follow. And Ori is going to go back for that Orchid.
Oh, okay.
I'm over here.
All right. Well, top, Ori. Here I am. He's going to have the catch on Fly. As Fly, can they save him? They cannot. Cannot indeed. As that's Fly gone. Old 11. Chrono's up. We'll see if RTZ wants to try and go for this. He's not going to try. Vici Gaming back up to the high ground. EG will hold back.
Too scary jumping in blind there. The Phoenix, they saw the Sunray. He's still got Egg. Don't want to commit out to a Chronosphere there onto Old 11. Who's still very tanky himself. There's a DD bottom. This could be the play that they look for with the Chrono. He's not putting points into it, by the way. He's maxing time dilation instead of putting that secondary point. Since it only does increase 0.5, does prioritize his other abilities.
That's actually pretty big brain.
Yeah, I like it.
Say, you know, that 0.5 seconds, definitely something you could argue does not matter nearly as much as the scalability of the dilation.
Yeah, definitely like it. Seen a lot of players doing more of these different skill builds lately, especially with the introduction of stats back in the game. Crit still doesn't have Blink. This is one of the slower ones I've seen from these 4 positions. Does need to find a little bit of space to farm so they have a secondary form of initiation, because right now they're more about counter initiation, and otherwise it's Arteezy who has to be the full setup for them. Bit awkward.
Radiant are
Got SNY though finished. And good timing still on Arteezy, but Vici is climbing ahead more and more because of this Doom. Just how massive Old 11 really is. BKB coming out in the courier. Approaching that Orchid. Poyoyo almost has his own SNY too. Oh, okay. They're gonna go for the Roche here with the Alacrity. There's 4 points. There's a double Fort Spirit also from Abed.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the Chrono. They're happy for Vici Gaming to come over and try and take a fight, because Vici Gaming, they've got pretty good methods to take a fight with. Ways to dive in and disrupt this. We'll see if they can find the timing. DY's going to go for the Chrono down immediately. RTZ covering the Roshan and the Aegis here, dropping the Chrono. Prepares for that commitment from Vici Gaming as they take down DY.
Nice curse.
The curse comes out. RTZ should still drop the once here, but of course, having that Aegis to get back, he's going to be ready for round 2. But the toss in, throwing Arbed into the front lines. They're able to take out Old 11. PYW trying to get out, but the dust is there. But the vision, they've got the control, they do. Dilation from RTZ catches the next assassin. EG, they'll keep it safe around the pit. As, Sunshot will hit onto Yo. Should have the movement speed to get out here with the phase boost. He will indeed manage to get away there, but some good plays there. EG keeping it smart. RTZ knowing that he has to make sure that Roche is secured, and he does that perfectly with the Chrono.
He's being so clutch for his team right now. 5-0-6 on the Void. He's the one keeping them at this advantage. Beautiful. If they get the egg off, I was like, oh, DUI almost does connect with it, but nice chrono from RTZ. Ori was not involved. He was looking to get some more farm for the Storm Spirit. Getting close to that Orchid. Still will be very effective. There is the SNY, of course, that status resist for RTZ to protect him, but still very, very valuable versus him and versus the rest of the lineup of EG. They do lose the Aegis, so as quick as they do get it, they do quickly lose it as well.
Obviously, old 11. I mean, after the BKB, you know, what we're still this immense amount of gold that he does have flowing in. What other items does he need to be getting up for the team here, do you think?
Could be a Shiva's. He could still go for some just rush of like that refresher that we've seen him do. Might be a bit limited on the mana pool, so does want probably the Shiva's in between. We'll see.
Haste!
11.
Turning in, old 11.
Looking for a fight.
How heavy does he want to commit, though? He's not going to get the chance to. Curse holds back the two of them. As he's going to still try for the dive in. He's having to get the catch onto Warbek. Cold Embrace comes into play. Can they actually protect their Invoker? They can't. Warbek will fall. Vici Gaming get the kill.
Gotta love that interaction. Sunray will continue going even if you are cursed. So he's still able to get that Supernova off afterwards. That's the Orchid reveal too from Ori. Level 17 on him. And they will get this tower down finally. PYW looking for the next target already.
Yeah. They'll scout something out. They're looking at what's ice in. They come. Ori and Poyo straight over on top of the Vipers. PYW gives them the information they need to push on for another kill.
EG pretty much completely relying on Chronosphere to be able to weather the storm of Vici. Even though they got the Roche, they don't have the Aegis for these upcoming fights, and definitely missing a big damage element. Viper, very dominant inside the laning phase, but as we've seen multiple times at this tournament, his effectiveness does start to get reduced heavily.
Stupendous.
Especially when they can just infest bomb. Usually you're the counter to Lifestealer, but when Lifestealer has methods of delivery, it does counteract the Viper that usually is good for him.
Look at this tap on him.
11.
Just a quick move.
Chrono's
going to get dropped on. He's got the damage. He's going to try and turn over Warp's Ori. By the All Scepter. The Doom's been dropped down. RTZ, he's done for.
The darkness.
They're starting to lose control of the game,
quick
EG.
moves. Yeah, Vici Gaming just running all over the map. EG getting picked apart and losing the all-important Faceless Void. As you can see with the individual net worth, a lot of it riding on the shoulders of RTZ. They've got to keep him safe. Him dying is going to hurt tenfold here for the game from EG's perspective as things go on.
No Chronosphere though. Next fight's still gonna look to be pretty difficult for them, as Egg is coming back up in 5 seconds. PYW doing an excellent job of scouting over and over again, and they do always have these long jumps with the Orchid, with the Infest. Looks a very tough game for EG moving forward. All dependent on this Void, really to land perfect Chronosphere, and depending on Abed to get that Aghanims at a good timing so they can get the catch.
He needs,
yeah. He really feels like he's gonna need it this game.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not going to come too quickly. We'll get sped up a little bit there from the kill they can catch. And Fan Blood trying to go for more, but Ori's in with the counterplay. Straight in with the silence on to fly. They take down the Wyvern. Old 11 trying to commit on with the BKB, but he's already been slowed down heavily. Nice. Thinking about maybe poking back in on him. He's kind of alone, though. Over towards the mid, Arbed. She opting to cancel his own TP here as he wishes to stay around, but that's going to give Ori the chance to sit back in on him. Ori just straight away onto Arbed. Arbed popping the BKB will manage to get out to the side as he'll live. RTZ's got to be careful. No chrono for 60 seconds. They'll try and turn with the setup and burn the man of the Lifestealer, but he's inside of the range creep with the Infest. He's able to dodge it all. In fact, Poyo, he's thinking about getting back in on this. Sunstrike comes out, does connect onto DY, but not quite enough to finish him off. Nice. So they have the vision upon him. Leads him with the Aetos from the low ground, and on level with his BKB on cooldown. He's looking pretty dead here. EG able to find an opportunity to punch back with that vision.
across the board here from Vici. Still continuing to get this lead growing. Even though EG is getting a couple pickoffs here, the efficiency on the map is much higher from Vici.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Storm now full
Dire's
BKB.
structures are fortified.
Yeah, Ori can just go straight in on any of these backliners. I mean, even Arteezy right now, BKB, it's just about to come out for him. Even then, if they're able to get in with a quick setup, that Vortex before he can get either off, they've got good chain control to follow it behind. So we're seeing at Old 11, that Doom is definitely a huge struggle for these cores, especially when EG's lineup is really starting to shift away as the game progresses to all rest on Arteezy's Void. If he gets caught, the fight is pretty much over.
Does feel pretty challenging here. Fly has to have perfect positioning too to save the cores that might get initiated on Sin. Vici has so many different forms to do that initiation. Infest, they're looking for a fight. Gem on the Storm, DD in the bottle. Seem to know where EG's positioning is right now. Yeah.
Arteezy's got to get some sort of insane chronosphere here to stop Vici getting a lot of kills. And find Ice to start things off. Quick dodge of the tornado, Ice is getting caught and braced. It's going to buy him some time. Not enough, or maybe the curse. Still down a whole gap because of that Ori's able to zip past it. And over to the side, Old 11, he found Arteezy. The dude has been dropped down on the Void. They run him down, and there's no escape for Artur. 2 dead, and maybe more. With a jump over the crit, Vici Gaming, they find another.
Ice. He's looking to hit back, but he might just get chased.
He bought back for this.
Okay, he's
got to be careful.
That was pretty risky, it feels like, from Ice. Old 11 was ready to follow up there with the War Stomp at any moment.
I mean, these are big moves from Vici Gaming, and it's really speeding up to a point that, I mean, as we say, I think somehow, some way, Abed, he's just got to get this Ags.
He does.
And they're looking for the Cataclysm comeback. This is one of those games that I don't think anything else is going to be able to do it here, as Vici Gaming are really starting to overrun EG.
The team fight, the catch, everything it feels like too. Vici just starting to really get too big of an advantage for EG to hit back. It does feel like, yeah, 4-man Chronosphere, some Cataclysm to bring them back into it. Because Tiny, Viper, these two heroes are lane dominators. The game has gotten to a point now where it's fighting. There is a Doom cooldown, there is an Egg cooldown. EG is going to try to take advantage of it. See who they can find. They have this top vision right now. They spot DY. They see those Storms backing up to.
Can't mess this up. He's got it straight down.
And that's the gem.
Instant drop there, and that is the gem as well. So not only a huge kill, but a tasty objective there with the gem changing hands.
And priority of targets
EG's side.
The Ward spotted both heroes. They saw the Phoenix going left. They saw the Storm going right. So they predicted that he's going to go farm that camp. They get the perfect setup there from Arteezy. Long cooldown. It is a big pickoff, but Vici could strike back very soon.
There's a little bit of a window where Roche will be up, but Ori will still be dead, but that probably won't be enough for EG to do anything about.
No. 18 seconds till it does respawn. He's going to be back up.
Yeah.
They're already scanning it. And it is showing up, so they might think that it's going on already. And Old 11 switches the build.
Over.
He goes for the Ags instead. He had the Shivas queued up, but he just goes plate mail into an Aghanims. Crit.
Arteezy jumps ahead. He jumps in. The tornado does come out and will allow Arteezy get the BKB off. Turns out towards Old 11, but Old 11's able to get the 2 off Arteezy. He's trying to run. Colin Brice will guide off. Ice able to take down the Supernova. Arteezy, they're trying to save it, but they cannot. The curse to hold back Poyo, but Arteezy will still go down. Ice caught out by the Spike Carapace. Another kill for Poyo. As Vici Gaming once more coming out on top of these skirmishes. They're going to have Vori back up. Roshan is there. Poyo's going to head into the pit. No Ice, and no Arteezy. Vici Gaming fully aware that there's very little EG can do about this.
Yeah, there's no way that they can fight back. You split push lanes immediately. Abed, try to maximize your farm to get that Aghanims online, but yeah, Vici. Ags Doom. I really didn't expect him to go for it, but I guess to counteract the status resist, you know, if you're going to reduce the cooldown, if you're going to reduce the duration of my Doom, I'm going to increase the duration of my Doom. So cool kind of approach there. You know, he's going to try for it. But he's not.
It was close there. He's just getting left on the ground for quite a bit of time. He tries for it, won't be able to get either. The kill still there for Vici Gaming, and the Aegis as well, also secured by Vici as well.
They got everything. Yeah, Cheese, Shard, Aegis. EG started to feel that pressure. You can feel when your crit's jumping into the rush to try to stop it.
Dire's bottom
You know they're in a
tower
really
is
tough
under
spot.
attack.
Ahmed halfway
tower
towards
is
the
under attack.
Aghanim's. He is getting there.
Is it gonna
I
be
mean,
enough? I don't even know if it's gonna be enough. They're itemizing versus it. Like
Radiant's
Yo-Yo has a
bottom tower is under
satanic.
attack.
He's 3,800
Yeah,
HP.
he's got
Radiant's
3,700 HP. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be enough. Even if they can, they need to get. It really does feel like they need to get like a 4-man Chronosphere.
They need to get the refresher shard. Or so, you know, we're gonna have 2 rounds of these cataclysms. Otherwise, yeah, this lifestealer's not gonna die. Old Levin's probably not going to die.
Doesn't feel like any of them. Phoenix is 2,600 HP too. Nyx 2K HP. The Nyx,
That's true, yeah.
He's the squishiest hero, and he's 2,000 health. Him and the Storm Spirit. Arteezy's feeling the need for damage. Usually we talk about this talent, the level 21 on Void, where you want to get time walk, but I gotta say, I feel like this might be one of those games where you do need attack speed. They're just absolutely lacking in just damage inside of that Chronosphere now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's how they win a fight. They have to drop the chrono, get at least 1 kill out of it to start the action off. The sort of the drawn-out fights are not going to benefit them against these heroes like Poyoyo's lifesteal, of course, with Satanic Rage. He can keep himself alive throughout the entirety of the chaos, or he's zipping in and out. You know, the drawn-out fights are just never going to quite cut it for EG. They've got to do something big with a wham-bam.
And Vici's the one making the quicker moves, making the quick initiations every time. Old 11 on the prowl with PYW. Smoked up. Since they saw Arteezy farming up top, they expected him to rotate toward the Ancients, but look where Arteezy's hiding. He's just sitting in the trees, terrified.
Nice. Yeah, understandably so. Against this Blink Doom, against the Ori Storm Spirit, so many things that are going to get thrown in his direction when he shows his face.
I see the lines drawn from Ice. He's like, someone tried to push out bottom, maybe telling Abed to send some Forge Spirits down there to deal with that wave. But anyone who shows will die.
Radiant's middle tower
They
has
have to be
fallen.
super careful the way they play now on EG. Game getting to the realms of impossible.
Haste!
Arteezy's still chilling in the trees until he sees.
Brief pause here from the EG lab.
I'm just checking out the experience lead. So 17,000 gold lead, experience 25,000 lead for Vici. Really starting to feel so difficult for the side of EG. As Vici just constantly swinging around. PYW leading the charge, level 3 Vendetta, so permanent uptime. No space for EG to get out on the map. Oh,
Yeah,
and they seem to know. They're pinging where Arteezy is. Starting to get a little suspicious.
Pushing down this bottom wave. I mean, there might be
Radiant's
some
top tower is under attack.
merit to let Arbed get a wave or 2 here. He's just 500 off the Aghanims.
So close.
Probably the
Radiant's
closest
top
to
tower
that.
has fallen.
It's going to carry quite some significance if they want to try and turn these fights.
I'm checking out if there's anything else that will really help them out much more. A
Radiant's
Holy Locket for
top
Fly
tower
will
is
be
under
nice to
attack.
at least give them some healing, but it's damage that EG is lacking. He's going into the enemy Ancient side to find that farm,
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
and he will have it finished.
I mean, look at this now. PYW scouts out Arteezy, gives the info for Old Levin to start coming across. They're going to be able to open up on them straight away. They get on top of Arteezy. At the same time, Ori moves in onto Fly. Expertly scouted out there by PYW. They know how desperate EG is to try and get out on the map, get some farm. And PYW, he's ready with the setup.
Old 11 is just so massive, Owen. 23,000 net worth. He buys himself the Shard too, so extra stun on top of War Stomp, the Doom too. So you mentioned, the Ag's really effective here versus the status resist. Full AC now on
Radiant's
Lifestealer, and with
middle
that kill,
tower is
they can
under
go high
attack.
ground. It's only Chronosphere they have to worry about, and he's
Radiant
dead.
structures are fortified.
Well, they've got the Ags on the Invoker, the characters, they've got the Chrono. The question is if it's actually going to do anything at this point. I think as you're sort of alluding to, the answer is probably not.
Probably not. But it's gonna look cool if they do get it off.
It's going to look cool. It's going to look cool.
Radiant's middle barracks.
You know, if you're going to go out, you want to go out in style. There's Vici Gaming. They'll take this mid-racks. Nothing to be done here by EG. I'll let Poyo have
Radiant's
that
middle
completely
barracks has fallen.
uninterrupted.
And that is the Aegis getting reclaimed. Ooh, a timeless relics. Here you go, Ori. That's a nice one. That's one that EG needs too. Any amount of damage.
Okay,
That's
EG
spell
need
damage
that,
with Cataclysm.
yeah.
They need a timeless relic. Go farm it. They need it.
If yeah, this is probably
Radiant are
what
scanning.
could give it. If they can get refresher on Arbed, and he's able to find one of those sort of spell, time this relic or spell prism, you know, something to get the combo a little more uptime, a little more potency, then maybe they have a chance of the team fight. But they literally need the double cataclysm. Anything less, I don't think they can do it.
No, and they need to catch everybody, because even if they do catch like 3 or 4, if the Phoenix isn't caught inside of it, he's going to counteract all the damage with the Sun Ray really quickly, because it's not going to one-shot these heroes since they're so tanky. Full refresher now on Old 11 as well. We've seen this one a lot on his Doom. He's just massive. He also finds
action again, but they have vision down.
Oh.
What do they want to do about this, EG?
The PYW
They know
knows.
PYW is coming in the trees for him.
He knows they're here, it feels like. He shows himself. They're thinking about it. They're scared.
They don't want to show
EG's
it.
terrified.
Yeah, you can't go on that Nyx.
No. Ninja Gear also pointed out on Old 11. Great initiation tool on these heroes like Doom. They saw RTZ for a second. Old 11 who wants blood. Lincoln's picked up on Ice Ice Ice. We'll be able to block perhaps one of those Dooms on Tarteezy, but there is a secondary one. Oh, yo-yo. He's showing. They're gonna go. But it's,
Oh, he missed! Oh, no!
oh, no.
That's not good. We might, well, we'll see what they can do otherwise. They're trying to hit onto Ori. But RTZ is looking pretty bad. Now, we'll see if that might be one of the ones that pushes you over the edge there. It's so much pressure for the Chronos to be amazing, and ends up on the complete opposite end of the scale there. That's not what they need, EG. That won't cut it at this point.
That's that. We don't even get to see the Cataclysm combo, I don't think, Owen. They
Oh,
still
come
another round
on.
of Doom,
I want
too.
to see a Cataclysm. Come on.
Radiant's
He's not gonna be. He doesn't
I'll be
have
very
He's dead for
disappointed if we end
60.
the game without one combo.
Oh, man. Oops.
You know, we've waited all this time. You know, we want to see at least one Chrono Cataclysm. Come on.
Radiant's top barracks.
Isaac, don't
are
GG
under
not
out
get
yet,
there.
guys. Don't GG out yet, guys. We gotta get it. We gotta get him to cast it.
They gotta get one combo.
Radiant's top
Ice, Ice, Ice.
And they're gonna jump on him under tier 4s. Trying to keep him covered in with the avalanche, but the Supernova's down. Ice, 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 he's burning. Buyback comes out from Arteezy. Ice, Ice, Ice gonna get him back to the fountain. They'll push him in. Ice, Ice, Ice will be saved. Arteezy jumping in aggressively over towards Poyo-Yo. BKB out from Old 11. Was thinking about maybe getting back in as he has got the refresher ready to pop to get that second Doom down onto Arteezy. EG. They smoke up. No Chrono, of course, though, for 70 seconds.
They can't do anything.
On left doing the jump. Immediately pops the refresher, looks towards Arteezy. The Lincolns will come out on towards Arturo. Keep him safe for now, but Ice 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 goes down. The spike carapace catches Arteezy, but pops the BKB. He is able to live for now, turns his attention over towards Poyo-Yo, now turns his attention to getting back into the fountain. So they're away, but now no Ice 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 for a full minute. Arbed.
It's a single Sunstrike.
Over the set of mid. The BKB's out straight away from Old 11. They turn, they've got the credit back onto the field, and they get crit, they get Arteezy. Arteezy dead, out for 100, it's over. GG is called. As Vici Gaming, after a rough game 1 here against EG, they really do hit back hard in this second match. This was more of what we expect to see from this side.
Yeah, they go for a much more comfortable style. EG does feel like they went a little bit out of the realms of their comfort where they just overwhelmingly dominate the lanes. They go for more of this late game combo strategy. Vici just they get so much farm on the map. Everyone's just farming. Lifestealer farming jungle, Storm doing whatever he really wants in the game, Doom just continuously farming from Devour and Midas, PYW doing some godly scouting. They buy the gem, they get a huge advantage. They do get like 1 or 2 of these nice Chronospheres from Arteezy to catch the Storm Spirit to secure themselves a first Roche, but they don't get to do anything because they lose the Aegis right away out of that first Roche, and it really is just Vici all over the place this game.